What the Venatori ultimately intended with their incursions into the necropolis worries me. Whether or not it was directed by the gods, the timing serves them well. Chaos, I fear, is their ally.
With this, Demeter's Crossing and the Blighted Dragons, and everything else we're all dealing with, feels like we're at war. A lot of little wars.
They want a war? We'll damn well give them one.
You need an army to fight a war, though. They've got two. The Venatori and Antam wasted no time allying themselves with the gods. Power at any cost.
So how do we fight back then?
We don't have an army, but we do have allies. Like the Veil Jumpers.
After Demeter's Crossing, it's personal for them.
I might be back in the Crow's good books after we save Treviso.
You impressed Viago. That is quite a challenge on its own.
Also, Lady Morrigan requested a meeting at the Cobbled Swan in Minrathous.
Could she have found some trace of the gods?
Probably. Morrigan doesn't visit crowded taverns for fun.
I also heard from Grey Wardens out in the Hossberg wetlands, Antoine and Evka. Something strange is happening with the Blight there. I bet it involves the gods.
First Warden didn't seem impressed the last time we met.
I heard he told you to piss up a rope.
Will he be in the wetlands?
I don't keep track, but he can't stop you from asking a few questions, if we're fast enough.
Any details on the Blight in the wetlands?
Antoine said he didn't write it down.
Why not?
Either he didn't trust someone else wouldn't read the note, or he didn't want us to panic.
Gillenane has laid low since we hurt her dragon, but the Blight spreads rot wherever the gods go.
And no one's better at tracking Blight than Wardens.
Morrigan and those Wardens feel like our best leads on finding the gods.
Are they really gods? Or just ancient mages? It's not clear.
They're gods, or the closest damn thing to them.
Nev, you're back.
Yeah, I am.
A couple of new people have joined the team since you've been gone. This is Professor Emmerich Valkarin, he's our Fade expert, and Tosh, our Dragon Hunter.
Hey.
Charmed.
Right. Not everyone has met.
So you're a dragon hunter? Minrathous could have used you.
What's going on?
Back home, what isn't? Look, you made an impossible call without enough information. I get it. It's the corner the gods put us in. It just might take time to shake off.
You are back though, right?
Yeah, Belle. I'm back.
Good to have you back. Whatever the circumstances. Everyone needs to be part of this. That's the only way we'll win.
After what happened to Minrathous, I've got even more reason to go after the gods. If anyone's got a shot at this, it's the people here. I'm still on the job. Count on it.
Great. Let's follow up on some leads.
I'll let Lady Morrigan know we're ready to meet.
I'll send word to Antoine and Evka. They're holed up in a town called Lavendel.
Everyone else should rest up. Be ready to move when I call.
Never easy, is it, kid?
What do you mean?
Making the big choices, then living with the consequences.
If I don't make the tough decisions, no one else will. So I live with the consequences.
And you don't blame anyone else for them. That's why I recruited you. Anyway, you've got a meeting with Morrigan to attend, and dealing with whatever the Wardens found. All this chatting is taking it out of me. Think I'll rest for a bit. Good work, Rook. You'll find your way through this. I know it.
A third edition of the Unnameable Elements? I didn't even know it had editions.
Oh, it's much improved with the index. Please, borrow it if you'd like.
I'd love to. Oh, Rook, you probably wanted to say hi. Thanks, Professor.
You look moved in.
Just a few essentials. Manfred was a great help with the boxes. What a fascinating place this lighthouse is. What do you make of it?
Early on, it mostly felt empty. But it's gotten more homey with each new person.
For all its grandeur, the lighthouse does seem meant for company.
Did you get the tour yet?
Oh, I've been exploring, but I noticed a few of the others taken aback by Manfred, and I overheard remarks about my skulls. My necromancy won't cause any undue worry, will it?
No way!
Ugh.
But a few people might not get it.
Oh, I'd hope to make a good first impression.
Balara's excited you're here. Everyone else just has to get to know you.
Please excuse me. Manfred and I should finish our inventory. Thank you for stopping by.
Did I see you writing a message to the Inquisition? What's that about?
You know, Varric and I were part of the Inquisition, right? I'm trying to get news about the South. But Charter hasn't replied to any of my messages. I'm trying not to worry about what's happening there, but... No, it's probably fine. Charter's just busy. She's always busy.
Charter... who's that?
She's the Inquisition's spy master. Or she would be, if there was still an Inquisition. I suppose she just works for the Inquisitor now?
I haven't heard much about the Inquisition in years.
Oh, that's intentional. When the breach was open, we needed a large group to stop Southern Thedas from falling into chaos. It's changed in the years since. We're a smaller force working underground to keep an eye on things going on in the world.
Does your spy master expect something from us? I don't work for the Inquisition.
I know that, and Charter knows that. But there are still people in the organization invested in knowing how things are going. With Solus, especially.
So how long were you with the Inquisition? 10 years?
Something like that. Why?
You must know the Inquisitor.
Well, yeah, we worked together. I wasn't part of the Inquisitor's inner circle, though. I spent more time with the ordinary people, the ones you didn't hear about.
And the Inquisitor's advisors? What about them?
Of all of them, I'd say Josephine is my favorite. She's lovely. She still sends me a box of handmade sweets from Val Royeaux every year on my name day. Cullen and I got along too, but he was always busy. He would have bad days from lyrium withdrawal sometimes, and I would share the tea that my ma sent. He's from Ferelden too. Maybe it reminded him of home.
What about Leliana? I heard she's... intense.
I think she likes to cultivate that reputation. She's not nearly as terrifying as she sounds. Oh, I passed her in the Great Hall one day, and she suddenly turned and asked me if I wanted a nug.
A nug? Those small pink rodent things? What for?
She loved them and made a hobby of breeding them as pets.
So did you take the nug?
No! What am I gonna do with a nug?
But you did know people from the Inquisitor's inner circle, didn't you?
I knew them, sure, but those early days, all I wanted was to prove myself and not get in anyone's way. Some of them were more approachable than others. Sarah was a puppy with a new toy. 100 new toys. Fun, if you can handle the mess. She was really the only one who could make Rainier, well, Blackwall then, let down his guard. Otherwise, he kept to himself and stuck to the stables. We'd talk when I visited the horses. And there was Cole, of course.
The spirit boy?
Yep. I was just sitting on the walls one day, and he asked if he could join my game.
Like a card game?
Nah, just good old people watching. Must have seemed like a game to him somehow. We'd pick strangers out of the crowd and try to say something about them. Like, ooh, she heard the joke yesterday and she's still trying not to laugh. Or one of Cole's. His eyes remind her of the ones beneath her bed.
I have so many questions.
Believe me, I did too.
Cole didn't elaborate?
I think I prefer the mystery. Don't you?
Wasn't Cole an empath? He must have been great at this game.
Ah, but the rule was you couldn't say anything you actually knew. He got it in the end. I think.
So you didn't ask him if he guessed right?
Well, being right wasn't the point. Making a habit of seeing people was. I think he liked that. It's why you don't miss.
So tell me about these ordinary Inquisition members I haven't heard about.
The Inquisition hired hundreds, and most of them weren't Magisters or Ben Hasrith or the left hand of the Divine. There were scouts and stable hands, carpenters and cooks and quartermasters, even 2 dedicated pastry chefs. Most of them volunteered, like me. We wanted to help in whatever small way we could.
I'm sure those pastries were a great help.
My ma likes to say that sometimes the pie is for eating, and sometimes it's for crying into. Doesn't even need to be pie. Rector liked cake, and Faulkner loved soup. But food was always a comfort.
Rector, Faulkner...
Liliana gave all her agents pseudonyms.
Right, like Charter.
Well, Charter's Charter, but when the other 2 and I were together, we were just Lace, Wilbur, and Katya.
Do you miss it? The Inquisition, I mean.
It's hard to miss an organization. They're only as good as their people, don't you think? But I do miss my friends. We write each other, but it's not the same. And the Inquisition is different from what we've built here. Not better or worse, just different. It's special when you're among people working toward the same goal.
Not everyone. There was Solus. What did you really think of him back then?
Lonely. He always seemed lonely. It's hard not to be when you hold yourself above everyone else.
You mean it's hard not to be lonely when you're a pompous ass?
Something like that.
You can say it, you know. Try it out. Solus is a pompous ass.
Maybe he is, but I can still feel sorry for him, can't I? Anyway, I'm sure something out there's on fire, and here I am rambling about the past. I should let you go. Talk later?
It looks like our boy Hassan is feeling his oats. Or whatever griffins feel.
He's getting the hang of it. When he listens.
He seems to be able to handle himself so far.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy. You wait for my command. We attack together. Then we can kill stuff like that.
Well, at least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see darkspawn and it's a fight to the death. Like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
Sounds like the perfect soldier. And even flies.
Aerial cavalry. A full-grown griffin is a force of nature. Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Hassan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, he's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that?
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Hassan, his brothers and sisters, still young, pure.
You're worried?
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight, but I wonder if there's another path for them.
I'd like to think everyone can find a new path. Even griffins.
Just wish I knew what it was.
Doesn't every good parent?
Parents. A scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Herlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about? Trust Hassan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat.
Nev, settling back in.
More or less. Lots to catch up on, but when isn't there? I'm ready to get back to work. If we could skip the personal catch-up. Not the day for it.
Take all the time you need.
Rook, welcome to the Hosberg wetlands. I'd say make yourself comfortable.
This place is...
Foreboding?
Yes. Well, foreboding is normal here, but it's worse than usual.
The Blight's always a problem in the Anderfels. It's not strange to find a corrupted patch of forest or swamp.
What is strange is the sudden surge of blight through the Hosberg wetlands. Much like the village you found, the blight here struck too quickly, and in strange forms.
It's choked the whole area, and the local village, Lavendel, was caught in it. But they're survivors. We can be grateful for that.
Damn it. I said things were different.
We know.
We're trying to prove the same thing.
As far as we can tell, the gods you're chasing weren't here directly.
If the Blight's really changed, then the changes are widespread. As for how much?
I can almost sense something in there. Another sound under the blight's usual song.
Stories say wardens sense blight. I never thought it was literal.
It happens when you join the Order. But that's more than I should say.
When we met, you tried to block the sound out. Now you hear too much.
If it helps, that's what we're here for.
Become a warden, hear the blight. And people assume crow initiations are intense.
I assumed they were murderers.
Oh, I walked into that. So what's the plan?
We heard rumors of the surge here and volunteered to investigate. The first warden expects a report. Soon.
If we want proof the blight's changed, then this place is where to find it.
But the way the blight left the village, we've had our hands full just keeping it back and helping the sick.
You need more to study.
Yes. The odd growths the blight has formed, like boils, they surround Lavendel. I need more samples.
Leave it to me.
You can't just handle blight. I'll give you something to contain it. And watch for darkspawn.
I'll try not to die.
We'd prefer you didn't.
So be careful.
All right. Let's find those boil samples. Looks like there's caves on the far side of the village. We can start there. There. That's our blight boil. Got a sample. I'm guessing they'll need more than one.
Of course they will.
Fine.
And another sample.
That must be enough samples.
Yeah. Let's get back to Evka and Antoine.
Antoine? Antoine!
Yes? Yes, the blight samples. They're like nothing we've seen, or anything in the Warden records. And I almost hear voices in it. The gods calling the blight.
I can't hear anything. But if you believe me...
We knew things were bad. But if the Blight's being called, the situation's more unpredictable than we thought. We need to...
I give you two reign, and this is where it leads. Chasing Rook's lies.
First Warden,
Stay away from the Blight and the Wardens. How many times must you be told?
Until you listen, I'll be here.
Not helping. Rook knew something was wrong.
I can hear it in the samples. The gods. She's telling the truth. The blight has changed. And that changes everything.
It changes nothing. Your sensitivity to blight is useful, Warden Antoine. But you've had more than one snake in your ear.
He's trying to help.
Enough! You tampered with a ritual that unleashed blight. You did not know what you were doing then, and you don't now.
If gods control the Blight, we need to change how we approach it.
Archdemons control blight, and we'd sense if one had risen. We'd make the sacrifices needed to fight it.
But we...
The blight has increased. Now is not the time to lose focus. Wardens Evka and Antoine, are you sworn to combat the blight?
Yes, but...
Then report back to Weishaupt and do so.
That went poorly. even for a talk with him.
What an asshole. A lot of people are gonna die for his arrogance.
Maybe.
So much for convincing the Wardens.
We can't give you the order, but you have us.
We'll keep tracking the Darkspawn and the Blight. We'll do what we can.
And if we learn the gods' plans, you will too.
The elven god of monsters had been hard at work. She'd taken the Darkspawn and made them so much worse. Now, she and Elganon had their glorious new army. The risen gods were ready. And they had just the target.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Well, you get high marks for effort.
He's toying with me. So what brings you by?
Just curious, really. Wondering what it's like being a Grey Warden. There've always been these legendary warriors living apart from the world.
Don't know about that. I spent time with people who were bad right up till they took their vow.
How so?
Weishaupt is the last stop for the wrong sort. If you're facing prison or worse, you can always join the Grey Wardens and take your chances with the Blight.
Has your first Warden always been, well...
A stubborn bastard?
One way of putting it?
He means well in his own way. He's old-fashioned. Tradition is everything. Keeps us disciplined. We never deviate from it.
He'll have to. Elganon and Gillenine won't play by his rules.
If he even believes in them. The man doesn't have much imagination. Even the right sort can be the wrong sort.
I've heard about Weishaupt. Never been there.
It's a giant fortress and home of the Grey Wardens. It's been standing for as long as anyone remembers. At least since the first Blight.
Does it have floating buildings like the lighthouse?
No, but things float up from the latrines.
Huh. Fun bunch you hang out with.
The wrong sort have their charm.
And just how, wrong are the wrong sort?
Thieves, brigands, pirates, and the odd murderer now and then.
Sounds fun, right up to the murdering.
At least now they're murdering Darkspawn.
I'd rather take my chances in prison.
It's not all bad.
When does it get good?
When Darkspawn threaten a village, when innocent people are in danger. Then we swoop in, swords held high, armor gleaming, while 100 faces look to us for salvation. And they all live to see the sunrise because of what we do.
Okay. Now I get it.
Best part is the Warden fighting alongside you. Maybe they've done some bad things in the past. But after that day, it's different. There's some honor in their life where there wasn't before. Nothing like seeing redemption happen before your eyes.
Once a thief, always a thief.
Yeah? Is that experience talking?
I'm just saying I'd watch my back if I was a Warden.
When the storm comes, you don't want farmers and florists fighting archdemons. It takes the wrong sort to put the world right.
Kinda like us, I suppose.
Minus the skeleton butler.
I don't know. Manfred the Warden has a ring to it.
How about we quit while we're ahead? See you around.
Lucanus, where is he?
Back, demon! No further! Isn't standing up to them supposed to work?
Let Lucanus go! Don't make us hurt both of you!
What's going on? Lucanus?
It's not Lucanus, it's the demon. It's taking him over. He's trying to leave.
Smells like jam and brimstone.
Rook, do something!
Lucanus, wake up!
Ugh. What the?
You tried to walk through the Alluvion in your sleep.
Spite wanted out.
I need coffee.
Are you sure you're alright?
This could be better. It's hard for Spite to take control when I'm awake, so I try to stay awake.
You can't just stay awake forever. I think that would kill you.
I'll be more careful next time.
We do have magical experts here, you know. Once they put their heads together, they'll fix this.
I already talked to Nev and Bellara. Don't worry about it. This won't happen again. And thanks.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did, sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Also that, it's kind of mean.
Just insult it right back. Assuming you know how to insult a spirit?
I've never thought about it. How would you do that? Emmerich might know. That is an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
I'd probably just tell them what to do.
Right. Don't waste time on them, just get to the point. Let's try it. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. That was us.
What do you mean by that was us?
The Dalish called them that. Forgotten Ones, I mean. I don't know what they were before. You weren't supposed to speak their names or else they'd come for you. Remember the nursery rhymes? You know, unlike the upstanding Gillenane or Elgernon. So who knows what they really were? The Forgotten Ones. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive, tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fen'Harel.
Have fun with the condescending spirit.
I'll try. Could be worse, I guess.
Worse, like the wound of betrayal Lord Anaris suffered. Soon he will cast down the oppressors and take his rightful place.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Llewellyn, the woman who led us all.
Andaran Artishon.
Benethara. I wish we could be meeting without our gods threatening to blight the world.
A blight that spreads wider with each passing heartbeat.
Morgan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elgernon and Gillenane.
I won't let you down.
Don't worry about me. Worry about the people you've recruited, and about the people depending on you. I only sealed the breach because I had people like Cassandra, Liliana, and Cullen with me from the start. Without Dorian's magic and Josephine's diplomacy,
We never would have come together to stop Corypheus. Years later, I had to disband the Inquisition. But I never lost the friends who had gotten me through it all. Ultimately, they're the only ones you can really count on. Do right by them, and you'll find your way.
We've got the makings of a good team, I think. We'll do our best.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
If the South is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morgan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the south?
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Darkspawn have cut through the center of Orlais. Valroyo and Halamsharal are barely holding out. Ferelden would have fallen already if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, the Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe. The Free Marches have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Valen led the evacuation of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
Maker, we didn't know. My mom...
Don't worry. I called in a favor with the Divine. Your mother's safe with some old friends.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might be gone, but my name still carries some weight. I've used it to get people working together where they can. Again, the South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the Blight.
What I really need right now is information. If you have anyone who can help...
I'm sorry. The only reliable sources of information I have up here are Morrigan, Dorian, and Harding.
All of whom are already helping us. I understand.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette? Something to do with Solus?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
I appreciate it. Solus has been helpful while he's trapped in the Fade. But anything that can help me get inside his head will help counter him getting inside mine.
Wisely spoken. Solus rarely lies directly, but he finds ways to weave the truth into a noose you find yourself wearing.
Morrigan is right. Solus is dangerous. Anything that gives us some insight into his plans... He fooled us all before, and the whole world nearly paid the price for it.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.